Imagine standing at the edge of the world. You've just tasted freedom for the first time, a promise whispered by God Himself echoing in your heart. You, along with 2 million of your people, have walked out of Egypt, leaving behind 400 years of brutal slavery. The air, though thick with desert dust, feels clean, fresh, full of hope. For days, you've followed a pillar of cloud, a divine compass leading you toward a new destiny. At night, a pillar of fire has lit your path, a constant, blazing reminder that you are not alone. Then, everything changes. The path forward is blocked by a vast, churning expanse of water, the Red Sea. There's nowhere to go. You turn around, and your heart plummets. A dust cloud is rising on the horizon. It's not a sandstorm. It's the glint of sun on bronze, the thunder of 1,000 chariot wheels, the roar of an army thirsty for vengeance. Pharaoh has changed his mind. He's coming for you. And he's not coming to negotiate. Panic erupts like a wildfire. The cries of terrified children mix with the wails of their parents. People are running, screaming, pointing back at the approaching dust cloud. Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? They scream at Moses. The accusation hangs in the air, heavy and bitter. It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. The hope that burned so brightly just moments ago is now extinguished, replaced by the cold, suffocating grip of pure terror. You are trapped. In front of you, an impassable sea. Behind you, the most powerful army on earth, closing in fast. There is no escape. The chariots are getting closer. You can hear the horses snorting, the soldiers shouting. The ground itself seems to tremble with their advance. Death feels not just possible, but inevitable. This is the end. The dream of freedom, a cruel joke. In the midst of this chaos, one man stands calm. Moses. While his people are dissolving in fear, his gaze is fixed not on the approaching army, not on the raging sea, but upward. He turns to the frantic crowd, and his voice cuts through the noise, steady and strong. Do not be afraid, he declares. Stand firm, and you will see the salvation the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Be still. How can anyone be still? The enemy is almost upon them. The command seems insane, impossible. Yet, something in his voice, in his unwavering confidence, plants a tiny seed of stillness in the storm of fear. Then, the pillar of cloud that has been leading them moves. It shifts, gliding behind the camp, positioning itself as a massive, impenetrable barrier between the Israelites and the pursuing Egyptian army. To the Israelites, it continues to provide light. But to the Egyptians, it becomes a wall of thick, supernatural darkness. They are stopped in their tracks, confused, unable to advance. A temporary reprieve, a breath of captured air in a drowning man's lungs. The night is dark. The only sounds are the terrified whispers of the people, the distant, frustrated shouts of the Egyptian army, and the constant, rhythmic crashing of waves against the shore. The tension is unbearable. Then, God speaks to Moses. Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. Imagine the scene. Moses walks to the edge of the water. The wind whips his robes around him. He raises his staff, the simple wooden rod that has already become a symbol of God's power. He holds it out over the churning, chaotic water. For a moment, nothing happens. The waves continue their relentless assault on the shore. Did they misunderstand? Was it all for nothing? Then, it begins. A wind starts to blow. Not a normal desert wind, but a fierce, howling, easterly gale. It screams across the water, a powerful, sustained blast that continues all through the night. The surface of the sea begins to froth and churn with an unnatural violence. The people watch, their fear now mixed with a sense of awe and disbelief. What is happening? Slowly, impossibly, the waters begin to part. It's not a gentle separation. It's a cosmic tearing. The sea is being ripped in two. The sound is deafening, a groan from the very depths of the earth. On either side, the water begins to rise, piling up on itself, forming to colossal, shimmering walls. They climb higher and higher, becoming liquid cliffs that tower into the darkness, glistening under the light of the pillar of fire. The water, a symbol of their entrapment, is now becoming their fortress. And between these two impossible walls of water, a path appears. The seabed, just moments ago a watery grave, is now dry ground. Not mud, not wet sand, but dry ground. The wind has not only parted the sea but has also supernaturally dried the earth. A pathway of deliverance carved through the heart of impossibility. Moses turns and gives the command, move. Hesitantly at first, then with growing courage, the people step onto the seabed. They walk into the corridor of the sea. Imagine walking on that path. You look to your right, and there's a sheer wall of water, teeming with fish suspended in their liquid world. There is staring out at you. You look to your left, and there's another wall, just as high, just as terrifying, yet held back by an unseen hand. Above you, the sky is dark. Behind you, the pillar of fire holds back the enemy. You are walking through a miracle. The entire nation of Israel, 2 million strong, with their children, their elderly, and their livestock, marches through the sea on dry ground. It takes hours. All through the night, they walk this impossible road, suspended between two walls of death, yet perfectly safe. As the last of the Israelites reach the other side, dawn begins to break. The pillar of darkness and cloud lifts from before the Egyptian army. And they see it. Their escaped slaves are on the other side of the sea. And an incredible, unbelievable path is still open. Pharaoh, blinded by his pride and rage, doesn't hesitate. After them, he commands. The chariots surge forward, thundering down into the seabed, confident in their power. 600 of the best chariots in Egypt, followed by the entire army, rush into the passage. But the ground is no longer dry for them. The chariot wheels get stuck in the mud. The horses panic. The advance grinds to a halt in the middle of the sea. Confusion and fear now grip the Egyptians. Let's get away from the Israelites. They shout. The Lord is fighting for them against Egypt. They realize, too late, that they haven't just pursued a band of runaway slaves. They have charged headfirst into a confrontation with the God of the universe. On the far shore, as the sun rises over the horizon, God gives Moses his final command for this battle. Stretch out your hand over the sea so that the waters may flow back over the Egyptians and their chariots and horsemen. Moses, standing on the shore with his people safely behind him, raises his hand one last time. The moment his hand extends, the miracle reverses. The invisible force holding back the towering walls of water is released. With a cataclysmic roar, the walls collapse. A tsunami of unimaginable force crashes down from both sides. The sea returns to its full power, instantly and completely. The entire Egyptian army, the chariots, the horsemen, the soldiers is engulfed. The pride of Egypt, the mightiest military force of the ancient world, is utterly annihilated in a single, divine act. There are no survivors. As the sun climbs higher in the morning sky, the Israelites look out over a calm sea. The bodies of their former masters wash up on the shore. The enemy they saw yesterday, they will never see again. The fear is gone, replaced by a profound, trembling awe. They are free. Truly free. This story isn't just an ancient tale. It's a powerful reminder that when we feel trapped, when we're caught between our own Red Sea and an advancing army of problems, fear, debt, illness, despair, there is a God who makes a way where there is no way. He doesn't just help us sneak around the problem. He splits the problem into and lets us walk right through the middle of it on dry ground. He specializes in impossible situations. What seems like an end to you might just be the setup for your greatest miracle. The God who parted the Red Sea is the same God who is with you today. You just need to be still and watch His salvation. Thanks for watching. If this story encouraged you, please like and subscribe for more content that fuels your faith. See you next time.